trillion-dollar consulting industry that rules the world. There is the good, the bad, and the ugly about consulting companies. We all need consulting, but some of the consulting companies are washing machines in order to pay off ex-leaders who executed the orders from large corporations like the military-industrial complex. Most of these ex-politicians, PMs, presidents, and their family members are hired by these top consulting companies as a payoff. Imagine you are looking to get a major contract from the government to sell you weapons. You will need to pay off corrupt government officials in order first to create a tender, then you will write the specs of the tender meeting your products, and eliminate the completion to win the contract. Sometimes, they will add shadow companies in a tender in order to show that there is competition, but they know exactly in advance who is really going to get the contract. In the past, you would have paid off directly the corrupt prime minister like the Japanese Tanaka in the Lockheed scandal of 1976. I remember very well this case. Corporations like Lockheed paid Tanaka cash and other personal ways in order to sell their fighter jets. It was much easier in the past. You would have created an offshore bank account and a company with a front as in the Panama Papers. Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Guernsey Islands, and many more specialized in these operations for a fee. Today, thanks to consulting companies, you can hire them by paying millions of dollars in order to get consulting. Not 100% of their operations are built for washing machine operations. They will hire politicians and decision-makers who in the past signed or helped to sign major contracts for specific large contracts. In the same way, ex-US presidents and their wives are paid very large amounts to give speeches. These are very simple schemes to pay off for services rendered. Like they say, you pay, you pump. There are also additional ways of paying the corrupt decision-makers by creating foundations in order to channel their bribes as non-taxable donations. We can see more and more of even actual president with their foundations that sound like charitable, but they are perfect for money laundering and receiving their pay for corrupt deals from large contracts that they approved. Imagine that you are a major weapon supplier or an oil corporation. You need a new market to sell your products and get permission to take over the underground natural resources in a third-world country or even in a country like Ukraine. You will need to create a reason for a conflict. You will need to pay off both sides in order to create a war to sell or invade a country for its underground resources. The question is, how do I hide this bribe that would be sometimes billions of dollars? You can still use offshore banking without naming a few. You can send donations to their charitable foundations, hire their family members with huge salaries, give them access to pre-IPO stocks, pay their favorite consulting company, pay for speeches, write books by third-party authors under their names and pay them large amounts for these books, and many more schemes like these. I can give several real examples, but you can use your research abilities. Not every operation rendered by consulting companies is fake. They do have real consulting done by very knowledgeable individuals or consultants with inside information that will make them look like geniuses. At the end of the day, it is a big scam stealing the money of the taxpayers. These practices became routine and accepted that nobody is challenging. Look at the US Congress, which is in reality full of corrupt politicians who are only there to sign and create situations for major contracts. If you would have forensic accountings done for each member of the US Congress, you will find out that the wealth that they were able to accumulate as families are completely off from their salaries. They would have needed to work for over 1,000 years for these assets. Unfortunately, we have the three monkeys and no justice system will go after these corrupt individuals because they own the justice system. All these sound like conspiracy for a major part of the population, but when you have seen these realities with your own eyes, they become business as usual.